And then it hits you. You are doing all of the things. You are showing up as a mom, a wife, a businesswoman, an employee, a sister, a woman who holds it all down. But somewhere between school drop offs, trying to be the best version of yourself, dating, relationships, family, you realize you do not quite recognize who you have become. And in that moment, that very uncomfortable, quiet moment, realization, it changes everything. You are not alone. Most women in their 30s are asking quietly the same question. How did I get here? What comes next? And listen, I've been there, a mom, a wife, an achiever, doing all of the things, but deep down, I know I was showing up for everybody else but myself. It wasn't burned out, it was misalignment. And the moment I got honest about everything, it started to shift and the rebranding happened. As always, this video is broken down into clear chapters, making it easy for you to follow along. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact mindset framework I use to rebrand my life so you can too. Not just aesthetically, but the identity. Because when you shift that, everything else falls into place. So grab your matcha, get comfy, because we are about to level up. Chapter 1. Identity is the root, not the outcome. Before we dive in, let's talk about the quarter life or the midlife crisis, because I don't actually see it as a crisis. I see it as an awakening. Now, it's that pivotal moment when you realize there is a gap between who you've become and who you truly want to be. It's when you start questioning your choices, your priorities, your direction. Not because something is wrong or something's out of place, but because something's shifting within you. Now you're thinking you're not good enough, the career's not good enough, the partner isn't enough, your family's not enough. Then you decide that you need to level up. But here's where most people get it wrong when they start to level up or a lifestyle shift. They start with their goals. They say, I want to lose weight, or I want to start a business, or I want to even be more confident. But what they don't realize, and this is the key, if you build your goals on top of the old identity, they will not stick because your self-concept always wins. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your belief system. So what do you believe about yourself? When I started seeing myself as somebody who thrives instead of somebody who survives, my habits started matching my identity. Let me give you a clear example to bring this all full circle in real life. When I wanted to become somebody who prioritized wellness, I didn't just set a goal to exercise more. Instead, I started asking myself each morning, what would a woman who values her well-being do right now? Some days that meant a 30-minute workout, but other days that meant turning my phone off at 9 o'clock so I can get 9 hours of sleep, or saying no to extra commitments. The question changed my actions because it addressed my identity first. So I want you to pause and ask yourself, who do I believe that I am? Who are you? Who taught me that? And does that identity serve the woman that I am actually becoming? If not, let her go. This is your root system. This is where the real rebranding happens. So chapter 2, how do you rewrite your internal script? So let's talk about the stories that we are actually telling ourselves. Every single day, there is a script running in our background. And for most of us, it sounds something like, I am the strong one, or I never have time for myself, or I'm just not consistent, or I can't do that. And then we say these things like they're facts, but they're not facts. They're patterns, and patterns can be rewritten. The moment I started saying I'm learning to prioritize myself without guilt, my actions started to follow. So here's your reminder. You are not stuck. You're just repeating a narrative that no longer fits your life. Rewrite your story doesn't mean pretending. It means choosing language that aligns with the woman that you are becoming. Chapter 3, romanticize the becoming. Everyone wants the after, the transformation, the big reveal, but the truth, the becoming is where the magic lives. The early mornings that you chose yourself, the discipline, the consistency, the sacrifices, the meditations, the small moments of silence before the kids woke up, the way you show up when nobody else is clapping yet. This is where she is born. This is where you are born. Let me share what this looked like in my own journey so you can understand. Every single morning during my training runs, I created a 15-minute ritual through Insight Timer, which is hands down the best app. But as I moved through each stride, that meditation playing in my ears became the soundtrack to my becoming. I visualized my future self so vividly in detail, how she would move with confidence, the way she carried herself, even mentally embracing her as if she was running alongside me or if I was hugging her. This wasn't just an exercise. This was me actively creating a relationship with the woman that I was becoming before anybody else could see who she was. I was honoring her by showing up for those early morning runs, even on the days when my body resisted, when the weather wasn't perfect, when nobody would have noticed if I skipped a day. Those running meditations weren't just a physical training, they were a daily commitment to seeing myself as I could be, not just who I was in the moment. This is how you transform the uncomfortable into the sacred. This is how you turn discipline into devotion. Romanticizing your growth. Speak life over your routines because this part, the quiet, ordinary part, is what makes the rebrand unshakable. Meditation will transform your identity because it constantly blocks out the clutter and has you focus on what you need to focus on. So chapter 4, embodiment over aesthetic. You do not need a new hairstyle, a new outfit to start becoming your next level self, even though those things are beautiful, but the real change starts with how you carry yourself. When I was rebranding, I didn't look any different at first, but I stood taller, I made eye contact, I stopped shrinking, I had a voice. Being her before you even look like her, that is a real flex. That's the quiet move that nobody sees coming. So ask yourself, how would she walk into this room today? How would she handle this conversation? How would she speak to herself after a bad day? Practice being her now. And honestly, the rest will catch up. Chapter 5, clear the noise and curate your circle. The truth is, you are influenced by what you consume. Always. Period. If your feed is full of pressure, perfection, and passive aggressive shade, it's going to keep you stuck in your old identity. The rebrand means muting out the noise, not out of hate, but out of self-protection. You can't heal in the same environment that made you question your own worth. So clear the space. Unfollow the girl who makes you feel behind. Mute the friend who constantly needs you to play small. Protect your peace like your growth depends on it, because it does. Okay, so now that we have cleared space emotionally, physically, and even digitally, let's talk about how to build the new you in that space. What does that look like? So here's the blueprint to this framework. You need to have the morning identity statement. So what is this? Each morning before your brain is fully online, before you scroll, before the chaos, you ground yourself with your identity statement. Place your hand on your heart, take a deep breath, and say something along the lines of, I am a woman who chooses herself first so then I can show up for everybody else. Why does this even matter? Saying this out loud daily starts to rewire your subconscious mind. You are not just hoping to become her. You are reminding your nervous system that you are already her. This practice anchors you into a new default way of being. And over time, your actions start to align without forcing it because your identity has already shifted. It's less about motivation and more about memory. Remembering who you really are before the world tries to tell you otherwise. Number 2, the decision filter. You write down a simple question and use it to navigate your daily decisions. For example, does this align with the woman that I am becoming? Put this on a post-it note, put it on your mirror, on your fridge, set it as your lock screen. This creates a pause point in your day, a split second to check yourself before defaulting into old habits or people pleasing. The visual clue disrupts autopilot behaviors and it reminds you that you have agency. When you see it daily, it becomes a soft accountability partner. You're making aligned decisions, not just emotionally, but practically. My favorite, the boundary script. I want you to prepare a go-to phrase that you can use when people ask you for your time or energy that do not align with you in this season. For example, I am honored you thought of me, but I am currently in a season where I am being intentional about my commitments. Nobody should be offended with that. Boundaries are not just protection, they are self-respect in action. If you're rebranding your life, you have to make space for new. That means clearing out the obligations that drain you. Having a script that makes it easier to respond with confidence and kindness, without guilt or over-explanation. The boundary isn't a rejection. It's a redirection for your energy towards your next level self. Next, let's talk about the evidence journal. Every morning, jot down one small action or decision that aligns with yourself and your future self. I paused before reacting during a tough conversation. I chose to work out instead of doom scrolling. Most people skip celebrating progress because it doesn't look big enough. It's too small, but these micro wins are totally everything. Tracking them creates positive reinforcement. It proves to your mind that the rebrand is working and you're not faking it. You are becoming it. It builds belief, and the belief builds momentum. And everybody needs a little bit of momentum. Last, let's talk about the environmental audit. Once a month, sit down, rate your surroundings, your physical space, your digital diet, your relationships. Ask yourself, how much does this support the woman that I am becoming? Then take action. Declutter, unfollow, reprioritize. You cannot create a high-level life in a low-level environment. If your space is chaotic, your mind will be too. If your digital feed is draining you, you're absorbing that energy. And if your circle isn't growing, you'll feel stuck. Small tweaks here compound fast. Your environment should be a mirror of your next level, not a reminder of your old one. These aren't just tasks, they're identity reinforcement. So I need you to choose 2 or 3 small, consistent actions that will serve you daily as a reminder of the woman that you are becoming. Chapter 6, daily decisions are the rebrand. Your rebrand does not happen all at once, but it happens in tiny, quiet decisions when nobody is clapping. Waking up when you said you would, drinking water before coffee, speaking up when you usually stay quiet. These decisions are small, but they are extremely powerful. They are evidence. They are proof that every time you chose alignment with your higher self, you are casting a vote for the woman that you are becoming. Do not underestimate the compound effect of becoming her one habit at a time. And then finally, chapter 7, give yourself permission to outgrow. People do not often talk about outgrowing, but outgrowing is quiet. It's not always dramatic, but it's so important to acknowledge. Sometimes it looks different. Sometimes it's no longer laughing at the same jokes or not finding the same show entertaining, feeling restless in the same conversation. Honestly, when was the last time you sat with a friend and suddenly you felt like you were outgrowing the conversation? This sounded repetitive. That moment when you realize you're changing in ways others might not understand yet. That is okay. That is evolution. You are not crazy. You are just becoming. And yes, it is uncomfortable, but you are not meant to stay the same, okay? The woman that you are becoming requires space. Give yourself permission to grow, outgrow things, even if nobody is clapping for you yet. The glow up will be real. You do not have to perform your rebrand. You live it. In your silence, in your stillness, in your self-trust, this is the real shift. A soft shift, a slow sip, a bold commitment to your next level. You are not too late. You are just right on time. And your transformation has already begun. She is here. She is you. Congratulations. Drop a comment below if this video speaks to you and let me know what chapter hits the most. I'll see you in the next one. But until then, stay grounded, stay growing, and keep becoming. Linked in the video, how to enter your villain era, because that is so important to setting boundaries. Until next time, I am Kaylin, and I'll see you soon. Bye.